This is a comment made on one of my very popular videos about how a client bought a property in Greenpoint for $750, and he said, I don't want to be that guy, but I really don't think he would be at any equity right now with the interest rate so high. Now, before I clap back at him, I want to reference back to the video, which got about 322,000 views. That was made in June 2022. One client of mine that bought a house 1 hour from Sydney based on Google, and it was in Greenpoint for $750. Now, to put it out there, and for those who know me and follow me for this long, is that I'm not a very vindictive person. I'm pretty chilled. I don't really care about comments like this, but I just have to respond because this person represents a majority of mofos that commented on this video. For example, this guy, terrible numbers. He's gonna be underwater real quick. Or $7 a week cash flow on interest only. That's so ridiculously risky. Or this Super Saiyan mofo here, tag me in part 2 when your over-leveraged client has to cut his losses in 2 years as his interest rockets high and property growth has been negligible. And by the way, guys, wait until I show you the results. These guys got a diarrhea in their pants. And look at this entitled mofo. He sounds like an Australian benefiting from our land. Like the land is yours, you entitled mofo. That's the sad side of TikTok. When you share a client story, a success story, these type of people shite on it. That's how my videos go viral. For example, this one 392k and this one 3.8 mil. 90% of those comments are negative mofos. Now, Mr. Boy and other mofos that trolled me in June last year, let me show you something that would make your jaw drop. This is a computer valuation today, 26th of January 2023. 860k, yo! It can also go up to $1 million. This is an estimated conservative valuation, by the way. Which means it's a computer valuation, which means there is no upfront value that went there, which means they shaved 10 to 15% of what the market value should be. He bought it for $750 in June last year, and I know on realestate.com it says $790. It's because during the contract there were some repairs that got negotiated down. But let's say he did some renovations and improved it to $790. 860 minus $790. He gained in around 6 months or 7 months, 70k. 70k of equity just by buying that property last year and not listening to you mofos. Now let me pull a chair out metaphorically and let you sit down. Let me ask you a question. How much did you save in 6 to 7 months since June last year? How freaking hard did you work for that money with overtime, shift allowance to get that money? What's happening to that money? Getting eroded by inflation. Let's compare you who sat on the sideline and start judging people compared to you to this client who bought a property for $750 in Greenpoint. Who works smarter, you or my client? The reason I'm roasting these people, especially people who say, oh, I own a house in Greenpoint, a local. This isn't a great buy on a main road and the house inside is very dated and most of the land is unusable. Or old mate here who says, aren't houses prices falling? Why are you buying? The reason I'm roasting these people and calling them out, because these guys are like, oh, I hope for my generation's sakes, I hope the property plummets 30 to 40%. I really want you to draw on these lessons here, guys, especially for those who want to accumulate property, especially you guys who are first home buyers or first home investors. The lesson is, if you're trying to accumulate property, you're trying to achieve that aspiration to be financially free, people around you don't want to see you win, and they actually secretly want to see you lose. As you can see from the video June last year, a lot of hate on what my client did. And the reason you're missing out on all these good buying opportunities is because you're surrounded by these type of dickheads. These so-called PhD property geniuses with their myopic short-term visions. Now, I'm not really roasting them personally. I don't really know them personally, but I'm just saying because of their short-term ignorance, their short-term oversight, it actually affects the people around them and it robs the people around them of the opportunity to get into property. They have a scarcity mindset. They don't have a growth or abundance mindset because buying property is a 5 to 10 year thing. These people are so quick to judgment, even locals. This house was listed and relisted several times because no one wanted it. Well, not everyone's like you that's freaking short-sighted. He actually had long-term vision. He did his calculation. He did his research. And this is the conservative rental income, 3.74% yield, which is very nice in New South Wales for $617 a week, but it's actually rented for $710 a week. He only spent 20 to 30k on cosmetic renovations to do it up and make the place nicer. For those PhD property gurus out there, so-called property gurus, just my tip for you, when people buy a property or your mates buy a property, when they ask you, what do you think? Or they give you this, when they ask you prior to buying, what do you think? Just keep your bloody mouth shut, especially if you don't know jack. Because when someone asks me, and I've got 15 years of experience as a broker and being in the industry and dealing with hundreds of deals every week, right? I always keep my mouth shut. I never cast judgment on someone's purchase. Because why? Because the way to look at whether a property is good or not is to wait 3 to 4 years, or even sometimes 5 to 7 years. Who are you to judge or to discourage someone or to rob someone else's opportunity to get into the property market and build wealth? You want to retire poor and live on Centrelink, live on pension? Then you be that, all right? Not your mates who's trying to get into the property market. Keep your mouth shut next time, okay? Because for all you trolls that trolled me 6 months ago, this is a FU to your face. If you made it thus far in this video, I really applaud you and I hope you strong success in your property investing journey. If you have any questions, jump in the comments and I'd love to answer them.